You might be thinking that renovating an old home is going to be a lot of swinging hammers and pulling up old carpet, and you're not wrong, but recently in this early phase of my project here, it looks more like this. A little bit less glamorous, just typing away on the computer, filling out forms through L&I. The forms never end, they never end. Because really that's the limiting factor here. I can't really do much until I get my permits, so all my time pretty much this week has been dedicated to that. Most of the work I've been able to do so far usually involves just destroying things. Nice. And the reality of renovating an old house is unexpected surprises. If you've been following the series, I'm sure you're familiar with my termite problem. Pretty sure it's termites.
They're still here, they're still eating.
The good news is, this week I had some guys out to hopefully fix the problem. Hey, what's up? Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, come on in. Thanks for coming.
How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. To treat the issue, they drilled holes through the concrete all the way around my property. And they pumped in over 30 gallons of some type of mystery liquid that the termites apparently hate. Typically, the termites colony is pretty close to the house. It could be here, or maybe right here. The colony could be over here. Maybe it's up here. Probably not though. So this insecticide will hopefully find them and kill all the termites. In addition to what those guys did, I also got a lot more mystery termite juice to spray all the old wood and also any new wood. And this prevents termites, if it's applied correctly, for like up to 30 years. So this should keep me safe. In other news, I finally got the drawing set from my structural engineer to review. So finally I'm starting to see some potential solutions to all of the problems that we're facing here. So let me show you some of his suggestions. This wall on the north side of the house is where most of the damage is. This is an exterior wall. The foundation's right underneath here on the first floor. And this is where all the termites were coming in, so lots of damage here. The structural engineer recommends to replace any of these studs that have more than 10% damage. So like looking at the top of this one, that's probably gonna need to be replaced. And also the bottoms where they meet the foundation are probably gonna need to be replaced. The other thing is the whole sill plate under here, which I talked about in some of the first episodes, is gonna be replaced. The next thing is this top plate, the big beam going across all the studs. Unfortunately, this has some pretty severe damage. It isn't actually bowing or sagging or doing anything structurally bad right now, but as a refresher, I wanna put an addition that will be bearing onto this wall. So any structural damage is really gonna need to be addressed. The structural engineer's recommendation for that, because it's almost impossible to take that out and replace it without taking off the whole second floor wall, he's recommending using flitch plates, which are essentially two steel plates that sandwich on either side of this beam, and then you bolt it in regular intervals, and it basically turns this damaged wood beam into a steel beam, which is gonna be plenty fine to support new weight above. Last week, I discovered some catastrophic damage in a beam right here holding masonry, sitting on just a bunch of rot. And the beam is, I mean, the worst that I've seen, entirely gone. And the engineer's recommendation is to take down the whole brick wall above, which I need to remove anyway for this proposed addition. And this is gonna be replaced with a PSL, which is like an engineered lumber beam. And that's gonna span from this brick, and it's gonna go into the brick wall on the other side. We're up on the third floor now, and this is the brick wall that needs to be removed to make way for the addition. And it needs to get demolished anyway because of how bad that beam is. The beam we were looking at is right down here in the floor. The rafters for the roof above are bearing up onto this brick wall. So before we can take it down, we need to build a temporary partition that's going to take the roof load, transfer it down to these joists. And once the wall's out of the way, we can replace that beam with a PSL. The ridge beam is also a PSL, and once that's in place, that's going to take the load of the roof, and it's also going to be where we frame the new roof from. Whoa, 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 slow down. Installing a window. I'm not ready for that here at this house, and well, that's not my house. I want to introduce you to my friend, Evan. I've been working with him the past couple months, doing little projects like building a wall, parging a basement, and now replacing a window in his row house. He actually renovated a house just like mine around 5 years ago, and he's been a great resource as I've been going through this project. Evan is a licensed GC in Philadelphia, so we've been talking about partnering on this project. If I go with another GC, they're probably not gonna let me do little miscellaneous tasks here and there, but if I'm partnering with Evan, that gives me the opportunity to do a lot more hands-on work here, which I would really love. I have all the time in the world to learn and tackle a lot of these projects. And also it could be a great way to save money. So I need to make this decision within the next couple of weeks. Before I can get the final permit issued, I need to select a contractor. So I've been calling a lot of subcontractors and comparing that to the quotes I'm getting from hiring a full GC, and we'll see where we end up. Welcome to How to Replace a Window with your host, a guy who just learned how to do it. Step number one is to just look at it for a while. Next, you're gonna remove the window, which might start with a little bit of prying. I don't know, try unscrewing some things, take the windows out, and when that doesn't work, just start cutting it up. Step number 3 is to repeat step number 1. Just look at it for a little bit, and then you're going to remove the window.
Out with it. Oh, you got it?
Yep. Nice.
Cool. It's a hole in the house.
Next, you need to remove anything that's going to get in the way of the new window. The time has finally come to get this window in place and call it a day.
Down? Let's set it back down, yeah, sorry.
Actually, one more thing to remove. Now let's get it back up there. Yeah, it's like right here where it's hitting.
Is it the wood?
I was just kidding about calling it a day. We got some flashing to do. We're going to start with liquid flashing. Then maybe switch it up with a little bit of flashing tape on the jambs and the top of the window. Now that we have our flashing all set, we can actually get the window in for the last time. Fourth and hopefully final time lifting this window. Fifth time's the charm.
There we go. All right.
Sixth try is the charm?
We tried. Sorry. Okay.
Let's do it for real this time.
Yeah, let's go.
Like a glove. And now with just a few screws, your window's installed and you're ready to go. I took some creative liberties in the storytelling of that section, inspired by How To with John Wilson. If you've seen the show, maybe you see the connection there. But in all seriousness, getting hands-on experience doing miscellaneous things like this has been incredibly valuable, and I'm really excited to be able to apply some of the things I've learned to my own project here. If you've been enjoying the weekly videos, I hope you consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video. It takes a lot of effort to put these together each week, and it's gonna be a little bit slow going as the permits are coming through, but eventually I'm gonna actually start getting a lot of things done. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you next week.